Hello everybody, my name is Brooklyn, otherwise known as the Dramatic Otaku, and welcome to my Kingdom Chaos, my solo world in which I spent a lot of time in 2021 and 2022 building that I haven't revisited since because the file partially corrupted, leading to a lot of progress to delete and all of my personal items to disappear, meaning my will to continue this world has been flattened. But I still love her nonetheless. But today's video, as by the title, is cooking with the official Minecraft cookbook. I've had a couple of recipes picked out, and today's feast we will be creating hoglins in lava, noodle caves, which is an interesting visual, the potion of the turtle master, and blocks of clay fudge. So, that being said, let's just jump into it. What the fuck are those? Are those my stumps? Ew! Well, you're gonna see these worm things cook the food. I'm so sorry about that, that's so gross. In terms of the recipe, we're going to start with noodled caves, which is like an interesting name for a dish that is just pasta, cheese, and spinach. So these are all in American size, so I had to convert some shit into metric system, and then in the end had to wing it anyway, so I'm gonna give you those winged amounts. So for noodle caves, you need 16 ounces of bucatini. I just bought fettuccine and eyed the amount that I needed. As always, you need a quarter cup of salted butter, 2 teaspoons of black pepper freshly ground. I just cracked some pepper into the bowl and just figured that was enough. 1 cup of reserved pasta water, 1 cup of pecorino romano cheese, freshly grated. Now, a substitution for pecorino romano is grana padano and also parmesan. However, the next thing in the recipe is 1 cup of parmesan cheese. So parmesan isn't going to be the best recipe, so I would recommend either getting romano or grana padano. What you have to do is pretty much cook your pasta, and then in a separate pot, melt the butter with the black pepper, allowing it to toast for about a minute. And then once the pasta is finished cooking, using a cup of the pasta water, pour it into the saucepan, add half of the romano and half the parmesan, and stir until the mixture makes a smooth sauce, and adjust the temperature to low when you are doing this. Then once that's all combined, move the pasta into the sauce, add the rest of the cheese, and at this point add some spinach or whatever. Now, I did this out of order because I was winging it. I know how to make pasta. This was really good. It was a really nice, strong, rich taste, very cheesy, and honestly one of the better savory options out of this list. Now moving on to the second item, the second savory item, which was hoglins in lava. Now this is literally just pigs in a blanket with some hot sauce. And my family doesn't like hot sauce, so I reduced the amounts that were in the recipe, and I'm the only one who ate the hot sauce. For the actual hoglins, which is the main part of the dish, you need 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour, 1 frozen puff pastry sheet. In my case, you needed 2. 24 mini cocktail sausages. I only got like 16 or something. 1 egg, 1 tablespoon of water, and poppy seeds for topping. You don't need those whatsoever. It's fine without them. Hoglin part, all you really need to do is take that puff pastry, make sure it is thawed enough, put one of your little hoglins sausages on the baking sheet and cut out the amount needed. I did this by sort of measuring each row by how big the cocktail sausages were, and then cutting down in strips and then cutting across as well, and then just rolling each hot dog up from there. After you've got all of them on a pan / baking sheet, then what you want to do is mix the egg and the water together, and then coat each cocktail sausage with that mixture. Make sure you don't overdo it, because otherwise you will have egg just stuck to your baking paper on the pan. Now is the lava dip. Now, what it says is it wants 1 cup of cayenne pepper hot sauce as well as half a teaspoon of cayenne pepper. Now, I didn't have cayenne pepper hot sauce. I did have cayenne pepper, but not the hot sauce. My family really doesn't like spicy things. So, for substitutions, I substituted the hot sauce for gochujang and the cayenne pepper for red pepper flakes. I eighth this recipe. This is one that I really just winged the fuck out of. So you need gochujang, unsalted butter. I used salted butter, really made no difference. White vinegar, Worcestershire sauce, red pepper flakes, garlic powder, paprika, cornstarch, and water. What you want to do now, I did this outside of the pot by accident, but in a small pot, combine all of the ingredients and put the pot on medium heat and whisk continuously until the mixture starts to boil, which the book says about 3 minutes. Once it sort of starts turning into like a slurry mixture, let it simmer for a little bit until the sauce has properly thickened. Now, I did it for a bit too long and it sort of just turned back into gochujang. It turned back into a paste, so don't overdo it. Take it out of the pot once you have finished cooking it, because otherwise it will just turn into paste. I had it, it was really good, and is actually the fan favorite from my family. Everyone loved the little hot dogs, because of course they would. They didn't have the sauce, but the little hot dogs were a hit. The substitution of gochujang for cayenne was pretty good. I actually really enjoyed it and really liked it. Next is blocks of clay fudge. Now, this is one of the things where I had to convert all of the measurements into metric, because I don't know ounces, I know grams and mils. So it says 4 cups, about 26 cream-filled sandwich cookies, which is Oreos. 26 Oreos. I divide this into 2. I divided half the Oreos into like a bigger bowl and half of them into a smaller bowl, because the recipe says to put half of the cookies into a blender or food processor and process up to 10 seconds. Now, at this point, my blender was dirty and I needed to wash it for a different recipe, but I hadn't done that yet, so I did what any good Minecrafter would do: punch the shit out of it. I did this to both bags, and the one that ended up having finer crumbs, that is going to be the base for the clay fudge. So you're gonna want to put that on a baking sheet, or you're gonna want to get a deep tray, put down a baking sheet, and then put your minimally crushed cookies on the bottom, and then hold on to the thicker ones because we're gonna need them, but not as much as you think. So is to grab a pot, grab one 14-ounce can of sweetened condensed milk, which when I did conversions was about 400 mils or something like that, and luckily my can of sweetened condensed milk was roughly that size, if not a little over, so I was good there. That was completely fine. Put it in and let it simmer in the pot, stirring continuously. Then once it's simmering, adjust the heat to low and add some white chocolate chips and vanilla extract. Now, it wants 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. That is easy to do. That is like a little capful of vanilla extract from my methods. But what it says is 18 ounces of chocolate chips, of white chocolate chips. When I did the conversion from that was about 400 grams. I had a 200 gram bag. And I am telling you now, me halving the recipe for 200 grams of white chocolate chips was too sweet. They wanted me to add another 200 grams. I don't know how sweet this is supposed to be, but they are essentially trying to make me make Hershey's chocolate, because what the fuck? After you've added it all in, stir it until the white chocolate is just starting to melt, turn it off heat, wait till it's finished melting, and then add in your cookies. And this is another thing where, because of the mixture I had, and because I had halved the white chocolate portion, I halved the amount of cookies that went in, and I still felt like I had too many cookies in it. So the rest of the bigger, less smashed cookies went into the breaded, crumbed bit that's supposed to go on the bottom of the fudge. So, get that pan that I mentioned before that has the baking sheet in it and the already crushed cookies. While your mixture is still warm, pour it in. Now, I had a very, very large pan. You want a much smaller pan than this. But what you then want to do is sort of cover it and then put it in the fridge for about 2 hours. Now, as I said, I tried this. Very, very sweet. The fudge, stupidly sweet, and I didn't even add all the chocolate it wanted me to add in. Moving on. Finally is the potion of the Turtle Master. Now, when I said this essentially is a dessert, I fucking mean it, because the ingredients is 2 cups of chocolate ice cream, half a cup of milk, 3 tablespoons of caramel sauce, 10 pecans crushed, and then additional caramel sauce and pecans for topping, as well as whipped cream for topping. Now, I whipped my own cream. You get heavy cream, you get vanilla and a little bit of sugar, and you whip that bitch with an electric whisker, because doing it just by hand is really frustrating, and the last time I did it, I over-whipped it. Everything else, you pretty much put the ice cream, milk, caramel sauce, and pecans into a blender. If you haven't already crushed the pecans, which you should probably do that first. Put it all into a blender and blend for 30 seconds until fully mixed. You then pour it all into a glass, and you garnish it with whipped cream, caramel sauce, and the rest of the pecans. It is that stupidly simple. And I can tell you, right now, the taste of it is straight up nut. I should rephrase. It's straight up pecan. There's no chocolate ice cream taste. Putting 10 pecans just into that mixture made it straight up taste like pecan, and that is it. If you want a nutty taste, then sure. Wasn't necessarily my thing. That's all I really have to say about it. So yeah. In total, I think the thing that landed the best were the more savory options. The sweet ones were just way too sweet, and I think that's because it's an American-based cookbook, and I think American sweetness is completely different to Australian sweetness, because the recipes were just too sweet. So I would say overall, my personal favourite is the Noodle Caves, followed by the Hoglins. Hoglins was definitely my family's favourite, whereas only my mum and my girlfriend really wanted the pasta. The fudge, nobody's really touching, but they'll like nibble on it a little bit from time to time. And finally, the pecan milkshake is okay. Anyway, if you guys want me to try more recipes from this Minecraft cookbook, then I would be more than happy to in the future. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Other than okay. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I certainly enjoyed making it. I like making things and making food and eating it. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys tomorrow for the next day of Upload Everyday December. Make sure you like and subscribe. I am so very close to hitting 600 subscribers. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye!